The next part of the lesson. No, I shall draw pictures on your picture. The girl was annoyed. Pictures? Indeed. I have no time to waste on such as you. I am going. And she walked away. But how could a busy person get the better of one who had nothing to do? Every day they met, and every day he said to her, "Girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your clay pictures. I shall draw pictures on it." She yielded at last. She gave him one of her pictures. The man started painting. He drew line after line. He put color after color. When he had completed his work, the girl held up the picture and stared at its sides, her eyes puzzled. Here, before going to the explanation, one important aspect can be concentrated. No, I shall draw pictures on your picture. Pictures on your picture. See there, both the word I pronounced it in the same way. Picture, picture. But one thing you can observe there, the spellings are different. The pronunciation is same, the spellings are different, and I think everyone knows the meanings are also different. Picture, P-I-C-T-U-R-E. This may be the design or the drawing that you draw. That is a picture here. On your picture, it's a large jug or a earthen pot. So these two words are homophones. The pronunciation is same, spellings are different, meanings are different. This you see a lot in this lesson. Now one more word you might have observed. I shall draw. I shall draw. Before that, in the last part, you saw or you might have listened that the girl asked the man, do you want to draw water? Do you want to draw water? So here, draw. D-R-A-W. So the spelling is same. The pronunciation is also same. But you have two different meanings. One is drawing the picture. Other one is draw water. That is, you draw water from the well or the stream or river. Take the water out with the help of the pot. So the word draw is got different meanings. Draw picture, draw water. Same pronunciation, same spelling, used in different way. So these types of words or this word here, you call it as homonym. So this is also very important part of your vocabulary exercises. One is phrasal verbs, the other one is idioms, the other one is homophones and homonym. We will highlight such words whenever it is available in the lesson. Now what's the meaning here? She is asking, no, I shall draw pictures on your picture. The girl was annoyed when he told that he wants to draw on the pot. She was annoyed. Annoyed is here irritated. She gets disturbed. First of all, she is trying to help him out with some work, and this fellow is telling that he wants to draw picture which is considered useless in the workers' paradise. Pictures, indeed. I have no time to waste on such as you. So she tells, pictures, you want to draw pictures? Then I don't have time for all these things. I don't want to waste time as you do. I am going. She walked away. She just walked away. Walk away. That is also a phrasal verb. Walk away means leave that place. But how could a busy person get the better of one who had nothing to do? Now, such a busy person the girl was. How she gets attracted towards the work of the man, or how does a better part or the better work of the man will be understood by the girl. You can see here. Every day they met, and every day he said to her, "Girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your clay pictures." He went on requesting every day they used to meet. "I shall draw pictures on it." So he used to request, "I want to draw some pictures." She yielded at last. At last somehow she had to surrender. Yielded. So she surrendered, or she gave the picture. She gave him one of her pictures. The man started painting. So his work started in the worker's paradise. He drew line after line. He put color after color. So that was his artistic skill. He started drawing beautifully. When he had completed his work, the girl held up the picture and stared at its sides, her eyes puzzled. Now once his work was done, he gave that picture to the girl. The girl held up. Held up is the phrasal verb. Held up means to take it and see it. Held up. Hold it with her hands. Held up. And she started staring. Stared at. Stare is to keep looking at a particular direction or a particular thing. She stared without even blinking her eyes. She kept on seeing it. And she started seeing all the sides of the pot. So she is completely puzzled. What is the meaning of the word puzzled? Confused. She did not understand anything because her work was completely different, and what he has done is something different. So she was confused. Brows drawn, she asked, what do they mean? All these lines and colors, what is their purpose? The man laughed. Nothing. A picture may have no meaning and serve no purpose. The girl went away with her picture. At home, away from prying eyes, she held it in the light, turned it round and scanned the painting from all angles. At night, she moved out of bed, lighted a lamp and scanned it again in silence. For the first time in her life, she had seen something that had no meaning and no purpose at all. When she set out for the torrent, the next day, her hurrying feet were a little less hurried than before, for a new sense seemed to have awakened in her, a sense that seemed to have no meaning and no purpose at all. See, these paragraphs are written in a different way, but it tells us how there is a change in the life of the girl because of the man, that is the artist, and because of his artistic work. Brows drawn means her eyebrow. So she had opened her eyes very widely and her eyebrow, it had been drawn. Drawn means it has gone to the higher level, or it had been opened very widely. Brows drawn. She asked him, what do they mean? All those lines and colors, what is their purpose? She is asking, you have drawn so many lines, you have colored, what is the meaning of this? And what is the purpose of this? See, here you come to know that the people in the workers' paradise, whatever they did, it was meaningful work and there was a purpose for doing the work. But here, whatever she observes, she is completely confused. That's why she is asking, what do those lines and color mean? And what is the purpose of this? Why did you draw this? The man laughed. So, he was in a situation where it was really a meaningless question for him. So, he laughs. Nothing. A picture may have no meaning and serve no purpose. Every time the picture may not give you a meaning. It is just an imagination. And it doesn't mean that every time it has to serve a purpose. It is not very much needed that every time the picture has to serve a purpose. It has to be done because of the need. There is no importance to be given to the work that he has done. The girl went away. Went away is again a phrasal verb. She left that place with the picture. Now see the after effects of the picture what he has drawn. At home, away from prying eyes, she held it in the light, turned it round and round and scanned the painting from all angles. What's the meaning of the word pry? Interested in. So, she went home away from prying eyes. So, she was very much interested in that prying. She held it in the light. She was having that pot in her hand. She was holding it, that too where there is light. She went on turning it again and again and scanned it. Scan means you see it line by line, or you try to know something from that. Neatly you go on observing. That is called a scanned. And from all the angles she started seeing that painting. At night she moved out of the bed. She even did not get sleep. So you can see the influence of the work here. Again she lighted the lamp and again she started scanning that picture in silence. She is not getting any meaning there. She is not able to understand that. For the first time in her life, she had seen something that had no meaning or no purpose at all. Because she used to be indulged in work that had some meaning and there was purpose. She had to do that work. But here it is something different where there was no meaning or there was no purpose at all. When she set out for the torrent the next day, her hurrying feet were a little less hurried than before. So she used to be very much indulged in her work. She used to do her work very fast. Her feet used to be in hurry, or she used to walk very fast. But what happened next day when she set out as a phrasal verb. Set out means she started her work or she went to the torrent. There, when she was going, her hurrying feet means the speed of her walk that became little bit less, and that was not in such a hurry as if it was before. For a new sense seemed to have awakened in her. There was a different sense, a new sense that had been awakened in her. Awaken is to arouse. Some change is there. The movement tells you that there is something change in her. A sense that seemed to have no meaning and no purpose at all. So again she never came to know this. Why is there a change? And we also see that it did not have any meaning or purpose. She saw the painter standing by the torrent and asked in confusion. So now she meets the painter again. She'll see him there. He was standing near the torrent, and she'll ask some question completely in a confused state. What do you want of me? What do you want of me? What should I do for you? Only some more work from your hands. So again, some more work from your hands. I want some more work. What kind of work would you like? So what type of work do you like? Let me make a colored ribbon for your hair, he answered. So what is he intending to do now? He wanted to do colored ribbon for her hair. And what for? Again he tells nothing. Ribbons were made bright with colors. The busy girl of Workers' Paradise had now to spend a lot of time every day tying the colored ribbon around her hair. See, one more change, completely a different change in the life of the girl. So who made the ribbons for her? The artist or the man, and he made it with bright colors and it was really attractive. Now because of the ribbons, the busy girl of Workers' Paradise had now to spend a lot of time every day tying the colored ribbons. In the previous paragraphs you had listened me, or I had explained to you that she used to never make her hair or tie her hair properly because she was very busy. Now she started spending time. For what? For tying her hair with the colored ribbons, because the ribbons were very attractive. Thus, there was a change in her routine. The time what she used to take for dressing her, it took longer hours. The minutes slipped by unutilized. So now whatever she was doing, that work process has changed. Now the time is just going on, slipped by. For what? For unutilized works. Much work was left unfinished because she was concentrating on her dressing or tying her hair. Most of her work was left unfinished. It did not finish. Her work was pending. In Workers' Paradise, work had of late begun to suffer. This sentence is also important. Now, in Workers' Paradise, the routine of the girl changed, and you can also see the further changes. That's why you see here that the work had of late begun to suffer. So most of the work in the Workers' Paradise started suffering. Of late means day by day it got changed. Many persons who had been active before were now idle, wasting their precious time on useless things such as painting and sculpture. Now here, not only the girl, many people in the Workers' Paradise, they got attracted towards the person or the man who is called as idle. So they were all very active. Now they also became idle according to the other people in Workers' Paradise. They all started wasting their precious time on doing the work like painting and sculpture making, which was considered as useless in the Workers' Paradise. A sudden change, the change of the routine in the Workers' Paradise. The elders became anxious. Everyone was very much worried, especially the elders in the Workers' Paradise. A meeting was called. All agreed that such a state of affairs had so far been unknown in the history of the Workers' Paradise. A great change there. People started doing the work of a man who is considered very lazy or idle in the Workers' Paradise. So the elders called a meeting. They called a meeting. All the people there in the workers' paradise were assembled. Now they told that, all agreed that such a state of affairs, we have never seen such a state of affairs, such a condition of doing the work. We had never seen this, and it is somewhat unknown in the history of workers' paradise. Never happened in the history of the workers' paradise. Not before we had seen such a state of doing work. So everyone is disturbed now. The aerial messenger hurried in, bowed before the elders and made a confession. Now who came there when the meeting was held? The aerial messenger, the messenger of God. And he came in, hurried in. Hurry in is also the phrasal verb, means suddenly entered there. Bowed before means he showed his respect to the elders there by bowing, and he tells that he has made a mistake, confession. He goes on telling or revealing what he has done. So what is the confession? I brought a wrong man into this paradise. See, here you come to know that why he is considered as a wrong man. I brought a wrong man into this paradise. He said, it is all because of him. So I was the culprit. I brought a wrong man into this paradise, and it is because of him the paradise is disturbed, or it has changed a lot. So he confesses and he asks everyone to pardon him. The man was summoned. What's the meaning of the word summon? Summon is to appear. So he was asked to appear. The man, the idle man, was asked to appear in front of all the elders there. As he came, the elders saw his fantastic dress, his quaint brushes, his paints, and they knew at once that he was not the right sort for the workers' paradise. So the appearance of the man, how is he to look? So he had a very fantastic dress, means his dress never got dirt, or it was never smelling with the sweat or anything, because his work was not considered as a hard work. And the quaint brushes, the word quaint, that is, which is very attractive, or the usage of the brush, not very hard to use that brushes. His paints, the paints whatever he used to use, all attractive one, and they all came to know that this is not the right person whom we have to keep in this workers' paradise. Stiffly the president said, means very strictly he tells, this is no place for the like of you. You must leave. Now he tells that this is not the place for you or the man of your kind. We cannot allow you to be in this paradise. Immediately you have to leave this place. The man sighed in relief. Even he wanted the same decision. He sighed. He took a deep breath and he was relieved, or he had a great relief, and gathered up. Gather up, phrasal verb. Gathered up means to collect everything, his brush and paints. But as he was about to go, the girl of the silent torrent came up tripping and cried, wait a moment, I shall come with you. See, this is an important change or a result of the man being in the paradise. That is, the girl completely got attracted towards the work of the man, and she was ready to leave the paradise. A great change which really disturbed the elders there. So he was ready to go there. He was about to go. The girl of the silent torrent came up. Came up is a phrasal verb. Came up means appeared there. And how did she come there? Tripling. tripping means with the small steps or the steps you take with your toes, tripping. And she cried. What did she tell? Cried means telling something very loudly. Wait a moment. She's telling somebody to wait. Who's that person? None other than the artist. I shall come with you. I want to come with you. I am ready to come with you. The elders gasped in surprise. So they all were very much worried. They were in a confused state and they were all surprised. Never before had a thing like this happened in Workers' Paradise. So such an incident never took place. A big change, or you can also take it as a drastic change when it comes to the people of the Workers' Paradise. A thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all. See the usage of this line, or you can also tell the combination of words. Whatever the man did, it was considered as the work that had no meaning and no purpose. Even he used to say the same thing. Whatever he did, it had no meaning or no purpose. Now even the people there in the Workers' Paradise, they are telling that such an incident never took place which had no meaning and no purpose at all. They were all blank. They never knew why this girl wanted to go with him, who was very busy, and she enjoyed the life of Workers' Paradise, now got attracted towards the life of the artist, and she was ready to go with the artist. I feel that you all have understood the lesson line by line, and I just want to highlight one aspect here which is very important. According to the lesson, it is presented that the work of the artist is useless or meaningless, or it did not have purpose. But as human beings, we have seen people enjoying the work of painting or getting involved with the nature, and everyone's work is very important. But here the writer is trying to give us the differentiation or the different type of work what we do, and one more thing is a different type of life in the paradise. We always think that paradise is something which will give us lots of enjoyment, or we enjoy a lot. It's a fancy world or a place where you have so much of enjoyment and a beautiful life. So altogether, it's a very interesting story which differentiates the work of the people in the paradise and also the artist. Language wise also the lesson is very important. The usage of prepositions, articles, phrasal verbs, idioms, and all these aspects, that is articles or prepositions and phrasal verbs, I have already covered in my grammar classes. I want everyone to refer this because all these are important in the exam or in the point of view of your exam, and the usage of all these in your language. To improve the usage of articles, prepositions or the phrasal verbs, you have to keep reading. So once you listen to the lesson, read the lessons and try to highlight the articles, prepositions, phrasal verbs and also the idioms. Thank you.